All right, folks, today we're talking about the biggest budget scandal no one in power wants you to think too hard about. We're spending nearly £5 billion a year housing migrants in hotels. Yes, £5 billion. While Labour says there's no money for fixing roads, boosting pensions, or helping our own homeless, let's break down where that money goes, what else it could buy, and the other big hidden spending deals they're making with your cash. By the end of this, you'll see this isn't about compassion. It's about priorities. Let's put that £5 billion in context. The homelessness prevention grant in England is about £700 million a year. We're spending nearly 7 times more on migrant hotels than on helping our own homeless citizens. The road maintenance budget for England is around £4.5 billion a year. So Labour says there's no money to fix your potholes, but £5 billion is fine for hotels. The NHS winter crisis funding boost last year was £5 billion. That was an emergency level, headline-grabbing cash injection. We're burning the same amount on hotels every single year. And the savings Labour wants from cutting disability welfare, just over £1 billion a year. That's less than a quarter of the hotel bill. So when they say we have to make hard choices, what they really mean is hard choices for you, not for illegal migrants in 4-star hotels. This isn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. This is real money going to hotel chains making millions, security firms with government contracts, catering companies feeding thousands of people every day, local communities. They get no say. They're told migrants will be moved in the next door, whether they like it or not. We've seen crime reports spike around these sites. Councils have complained they weren't even consulted, but the bill keeps rising. And that £5 billion isn't the only cost. That's just for the hotels. What about free NHS care for all arrivals, which also includes dental and glasses, school places for asylum seeker children, legal aid for immigration appeals, extra social care, translation, policing? When you add all that up, estimates suggest the real annual cost of uncontrolled migration is £10 to £12 billion. Yet Labour doesn't want to talk about that either. But it gets even worse. While they're crying poor, Labour signed up to massive spending commitments overseas, like the Chagos Islands deal. In May, they pushed through a sovereignty handover to Mauritius. The price? £101 million a year. Every year for 99 years. That's £3.4 billion in present value, but with inflation, it could cost us £10 to £30 billion over the century. Also, we can lease back Diego Garcia, a military base the US mostly pays to use. When Starmer talks about hard choices, remember this was his choice. And then there's Gibraltar. Labour struck a deal with Spain and the EU. Spanish police will now run passport checks at Gibraltar's port and airport under Schengen rules. Reports say the UK is paying Spain around £100 million a year for this arrangement. So let's get this straight. We pay Spain to control our border. We pay Mauritius to lease back our own territory. And we pay £5 billion on hotels for immigrants. But they say there's no money for you. And now they're thinking of raising your taxes. You really couldn't make it up. Let's do the simple maths. Asylum seeker hotels, £4.7 billion. Chagos lease payments, £101 million. Gibraltar border control, around £100 million. That's nearly £5 billion of your taxes every single year on people who aren't even British citizens or for deals that don't benefit you. Labour keeps saying they're making hard choices, but let's be honest, who are the hard choices really for? It's you. The ordinary taxpayer, the working class families, disabled people, pensioners facing stealth cuts, drivers paying record fuel duty and road taxes while roads crumble, families watching their council tax bills go through the roof, but somehow there's always money for the hotels, no hard choices there. They'll squeeze you for every penny, cut services you rely on, but they'll never touch the £5 billion going to house people who shouldn't even be here, or the millions handed overseas for deals that don't benefit you, because for them it's easier to take from you than to stand up to the lawyers and the activists, or to fix the broken system that's letting this happen. But don't let them tell you there's no alternative. Because there is. We could leave the European Convention on Human Rights. We could scrap the Human Rights Act that blocks deportations. We could fast-track removals. We could stop the boats at the source. And we could invest those billions back into Britain. That's what Reform UK says. That's what many Conservatives on the right say. But Labour, they won't even debate it, because their real priority isn't you. It's signalling their virtue. They care more about looking good on the world stage than protecting the people who actually pay the bills here at home. They care more about avoiding tough headlines than making sure your money is spent on your family, your street, your community. So the next time Starmer, Reeves or Cooper talk about fiscal responsibility, ask them this. Why is there always money for hotels? Why is there always money for Spain and Mauritius, but never enough for Britain? Never enough for roads or pensions or NHS staff. Never enough for social care or for our veterans or for keeping council tax down. Because if we can afford £5 billion a year for all of this, we can damn well afford to look after our own. That's the truth they won't tell you. If you're tired of the lies, if you're tired of being told there's no money while they waste billions, share this video, send it to your mates, your family, your councillor, your MP. Because enough is enough. We deserve a government that puts Britain first. This is TruthCast UK. Straight talk, no spin. Hit like, subscribe and stay tuned for more real news they won't give you on the BBC.